Hello, everybody. Okay, Tim Knight here, and just the aftermath of the seventh Fed day of the year. Today is November 2, 2022. This is after the close, and didn't plan to do a video, but it was such an extraordinary day. What I wanted to do is just to jump in completely raw. I've not thought ahead of what symbols I'm going to show or scripted this or anything. I'm just going to talk out loud, as they say, about what transpired today vis-a-vis the Fed. Normally, I use slope charts. Today, I'm just going to use the old trusty Thinkorswim with all the futures data and talk about what's going on. Came into the day with 21 positions. I only did one thing before the Fed, which is I got rid of, and I told you about this, my XLI puts for no good reason except just raw fear. And I got out of that, and let's go from there. So I had 20 long put positions. And through the course of the night, the market didn't do too much of anything. It was down a little bit. Of course, everyone's on pins and needles about the Fed. You know, will they pivot? Will they soft pivot? What language will they use? What, you know, will the color of his tie indicate anything? The usual fixation on our financial dictator. And so that's what it was all about. And so market opens up, still kind of weak, and everyone's on pins and needles about the Fed. Now, I did a post about this trend line, which goes all the way back to October 13. It was a premium post to my gold and platinum members about the importance of that trend line and the importance of breaking that trend line. And so we tagged it and teased a little bit, got a teeny little bit below it even, and got above it again. So it was providing some form of support. And we got closer and closer to the big bad Fed announcement. And this is all PST, I'm on the West Coast. So at 11, you know, as it usually does, it did a fake out. So the announcement came out and did this real quick drop of like 15 points, and then said, screw the bears, and went exploding higher. So we got like a 60-point rally instantly on that, and everyone's cheering and backslapping and saying how smart they all were and how bulls rule, et cetera, et cetera. And it was just sky high. Now, I wasn't doing a thing trading-wise. In fact, I was relieved that my positions were not getting completely destroyed. It didn't help, but it wasn't too bad. And in a way, I was kind of relieved because these Fed days are very cruel. They tend to go the opposite way of their initial direction. And in the back of my mind, I'm thinking, all right, look, it'd be so cool if the bulls thought they'd won this thing and they get stabbed in the eyes afterward. And so Powell came out, and I was watching, I only do this 8 times a year because I cannot stomach watching CNBC, but I heard them all bloviating and talking about how great life was and bulls rule, et cetera, and like, you know, up, and 5,000 on the S&P and all that business. And so then he does his press conference. And in the midst of that, he actually said some things that get people even more excited. It was suggested that they'll pivot in December. Then he started saying some things extemporaneously that people weren't too crazy about, like maybe when they the terminal rate is even higher than anybody's thinking. And so this modest change that they had made that got everyone so thrilled, that created hundreds of billions of dollars of value out of thin air, all they said was, instead of using data, we'll use forecasts. In other words, instead of using like actual hard data as it occurs, we'll just, you know, pay attention to like guesses about the future. And that's the science we'll use. We'll just use people's guesses about the future to make our decisions that control the financial universe. And bulls love that because it's completely airheaded. And so we went above 3,900. So as excited as they were about that, it's when he started talking about, listen, we're so not done, dude, with raising rates and like it's going to be higher than you think. Then he started pooing all over the bed. And then we got this kind of action. Now this shows how incredibly cool this trend line was, because we found support that broke it here. And we had a roll change. So we broke it, it fell, rallied, and it was now resistance. So it was repelled by that, and then just got hammered and hammered some more and hammered some more. And so in the end, I mean, this is extraordinary. We had like about 150 point range here, for crying out loud. 150 point range based upon the mad ramblings of an unhinged lunatic. And so that was quite interesting. So that's the 1 minute chart. Now, if we go way, way, way back, a couple of cool things have happened for our bearish friends. One, this sucker's broken. This trend line was quite clearly broken, as you've seen vividly. Two, we are below this Fibonacci. And that constituted the support level for this base right here. And so this has failed. This is a failed bullish breakout now. And as I also illustrated for my premium members before any of this happened, if we could just get below 3,800, then we start to blast below some important, crucial supports for the bulls. And we did that. So quite amazing stuff. Now, like I said, I didn't look at other charts. I'm going into this very raw. So as we look here at the NQ, which was down about 400 points, it actually hasn't been able to get off the mat, as you can see. You know, for weeks now, it's made these lunges higher, and it's getting weaker and weaker and weaker. And my biggest position is Amazon. My Amazon puts are up about 50% now. Thank you, Lauren Sanchez. And so I'm hanging on to those. But this is just kind of desperately clinging to this price level, which was this is not a Fibonacci. All it is the low from back in June. Let's see what else is cooking out there. Bonds I find pretty inscrutable, so meh, forget it. Gold did its usual trickery, where the announcement came out, it exploded like 30 bucks higher and completely collapsed. You know, gold sucks. Let me say it again, gold sucks. It took me a long time to learn this, but it's garbage. I stay away from it. If it goes up, it doesn't stay up. Yuck. So gold sucks. Precious metals suck in general. And so this was a total wipeout. You can imagine how delighted people were to have bought into this thing, because as I was watching this in real time, and I didn't remember what that line was about right there. I still don't. What is that line? So I draw these things and just I honestly forget what they're all about. It's clearly anchored to something, and it was like the exact pivot point today. Jesus, do we have to go back to the weekly to see? Oh, I see what it is. Okay, it's resistance. Duh. It's here. That's amazing, isn't it? I drew that like months ago, but that's resistance. That was the support level there formerly. Now it's resistance. And today it got, I mean, good God almighty. The today's high was 1673.1. That level is 1673.3. 20 pennies. You know, get out your scientific calculator. That's how close it got. Is that amazing or what? See, that's why it's like one of those reaction YouTube videos. You can see how I react to this stuff live. I'm sure that's why you're tuning in. Anyway, I'll try to wrap it up here. Last one I'll do is the YM here. This on a daily basis. And the reason I felt slightly excited about today is because I felt that this zigzag going on, this sawtooth pattern we've been seeing, had its run. High, lower high, lower high, lower high, again and again and again. And as I pointed out, we have experienced in just over 2 weeks the exact same percentage explosion that took 2 months before. So as I said, 5 times faster this time. And it reversed hard. So anyway, today I went from a spreadsheet of positions that was mostly losers, a lot of red on the screen, to like everything crazy profitable. It was a tremendous pivot, if I can use that word. So it turned out well. So I think things might be looking up. A lot of big news coming up soon. Jobs on Friday, CPI next Thursday, election results on Wednesday. Things are going to just keep kicking around. So, and of course, Bear Force 1 launches before the market opens on Friday. You know what to do.